Every once in a while, I get really excited about refinishing a piece of furniture, and this is one of those times. I picked up this solid wood furniture piece for free on Marketplace. The couple who gave it to me said they'd owned it for 55 years. I could tell immediately it had good bones, really good solid wood, but I was also low-key intimidated by how many angles and surfaces it had. I started with a carbide scraper to knock off the top layer, then switched to my orbital sander, but it was way too slow. I had a tiny bit of chemical stripper left, so I used that next, but it barely made a dent. So I tried something I don't normally use for stripping, acetone. At first it dried too fast and really didn't do much, but then I figured it out. If I kept it wet and worked section by section, the varnish basically melted off. It was painstaking and a little slow, but it worked. After that, I gave it a good scrub with soap and water, let it dry overnight, and came back the next day. I used a putty knife to get the last little specks off and then sanded the whole thing with 120 grit. It's a big piece, so it took time. I've never worked on a piece quite like this. It looks like a mix of oak and walnut veneer, but the structure underneath is still solid wood. I did burn through the veneer slightly on one corner, but I think once it's stained, it's going to look magnificent. And that's where I left off for the day. Next up, sanding the rest of it and deciding if I have the energy to tackle every surface, or if I might cheat a little and use black on the base. This is part 2 of refinishing this solid wood coffee table that I picked up for free from a nice older couple. In part 1, I stripped off the top using 4 different methods to break through all those layers of finish. And if it feels like you're about to see a lot more sanding in this video, just imagine how I felt doing it. There were a lot of surfaces to hit. I started sanding on top, then turned the table on its side to get into the tighter areas. I used an orbital sander for the large flat planes and switched to hand sanding for the smaller crevices and curved edges. It was time consuming, but this step really sets the foundation for a clean, even finish. Skipping it would have meant the later stages wouldn't have turned out nearly as polished. The next day, I filled in some deeper grooves with Bondo and touched up a few chips with wood filler. Once everything was dry, I sanded again to level out those spots and blend everything in. Then I worked my way back to the tabletop, starting with 120 grit, then 220, and finally finishing with 400 grit for a smooth, even surface ready for stain. After wiping off all the dust, you could really see that original yellowish wood tone start to show through. I ended the day by applying a layer of pre-stained wood conditioner to prep the surface for stain. Come back for parts 3 and 4. This coffee table's transformation is just getting started. I think I've come up with a game plan for this piece. I'm going to use a very light tan wash on the wooden part to lighten it up, but let the grain show through. And on the lower section, I'm also going to finish sanding that. I have to get in there and sand it down, and I'll do the same there. And then for these 2 side pieces, I'm going to paint those a solid color. I will admit it's in part because I'm too lazy to sand anymore. That's all I've been doing, and it's really hard to get at. And then there's a beam that goes across there too, on the underside, that I'll paint the gray. And then on the sides, I've done most of the sanding on this piece, so I will do that in the light color. So it'll be a combination of tan, paint wash to let the grain show through, and then I'm thinking maybe a dark gray on those 2 side pieces. We'll see how that goes. After what felt like 72 hours straight in a stripping and sanding purgatory, the real fun finally began. Actually making this mid-century modern coffee table look like it belongs in 2025. In part 2, I repaired this gouge with Bondo and dealt with not 1 but 2 burn marks. Shout out to whoever used this table as an ashtray. So I decided to go with the paint wash to even everything out. Was I a little sad to cover that beautiful wood? Yes, but it's just veneer, and honestly, this lighter finish feels way more modern. I mixed up a tan paint wash, about 2 parts water to 1 part paint, and wiped it on. After the first coat, it looked like I'd done almost nothing, which was humbling. After a quick sanding, I added a second layer. Paint washing is a little tricky. Just wiping it off isn't enough. You've got to go back in, touch up the streaks, and hunt down those bare spots like you're trying to spot a gray hair in dim bathroom lighting. Next, it was back to stripping and sanding the lower shelf. Good old acetone and a scraper took off most of the finish, and I followed up with my orbital sander because if I'm going to suffer, I want a machine doing half of the suffering with me. That Bondo spot on top, I wasn't done with it yet. First, I neutralized it with tan to match the wash, then sealed it with shellac so the next coat wouldn't smear. I let it dry, sanded it, and then used tape to mimic the grain lines between the veneer sections. I sprayed it again, sanded it again. It was tedious, but necessary. After taping everything off, I paint washed the side accents and the lower shelf. Paint washing is a bit like alchemy. Use too much and you might as well have just painted it. Too little and all you're doing is tickling the wood. This part can slow me down sometimes in a good way. It forces me to pay attention to see how the grain absorbs the color and how the texture shines through. For the side planks, I used one of my go-to colors, Mined Coal by Behr Paints. I tend to use Behr scuff-resistant paint with primer already built in. Some of the oak veneer on this piece had quite a lot of ridges in it, so I did do a fair amount of filling with Bondo beforehand. 2 coats, light sanding between each, and it was starting to look sharp. Finally, it was poly time. I used 2 coats of polycrylic across the whole table, sanding in between each. And honestly, I'm thrilled with how it turned out. The light wood paired with that gray feels coastal, fresh, and way more current. Now, I know some of you are probably team dark stain, but this lighter look tends to sell better, and I genuinely love it. Oh, and did I mention this table was free? After some research, I found out it's from the 70s and can go for over $1,000. I listed it for $625. Let's see if anyone bites. My name is Meg, and I show you practical tips for refinishing and flipping furniture. Be sure to hit the follow button for more.